Do you ever wonder why horror movies are so scary? Like, what is the reaction that you get from horror movies, especially when it's coming up to a really scary scene? So I suppose we're really going to be looking at the music part of this. Like, what impact does music have on your brain or on your reactions to scary scenes?
Do you know when you said horror films, it's not strictly a horror film, but Jaws, you know, the the building, the expectation thing. That was the scary. Like when the person actually got bitten or eaten by the shark, okay, that was bad enough. But it was the expectation, the build up.
Yeah.
And the music did that. So.
And it's the tone and the key of the music and this eerie kind of thing, and I think
yeah. Or even Psycho. Do you remember Psycho films?
Yeah.
The high pitched kind of music. It does have an effect on us. Like, and I heard somebody saying the other day that they were talking about Disney films, and Disney films are known for their music, their songs. And could you imagine really a Disney film, an animation film, without any of the music?
No, it's super boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely would be, because I think a lot of young people, you know, they learn all those songs, they sing them in school. It becomes really a huge part of their life, you know, and I suppose really what they aspire to then as well, as adults. I think that's an interesting thing too.
It is.
Yeah.
Physiologically, music has an effect on the brain. It stimulates blood flow in the brain. It's very good. And even people with Alzheimer's or degenerative diseases because of age still will be able to sing or even play instruments. Because it's like the tracks are laid down in the brain, and they're still there. Yeah,
that's amazing, isn't it? Yeah. I think music is such a wonderful thing, though. Yeah. They do use it in psychological treatments as well, and something that's becoming very popular in recent times is sound baths. Have you ever been to one of them?
Yes, would have gongs and dongs and the vibrations and even humming. I've done humming therapy.
Yeah,
and
chanting.
then feeling it in your body, feeling the
I went
vibrations.
to this moon thing one time, and there was
a moon thing.
Yeah, and there was drums and chanting.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was exhilarating. Actually, yeah, it was really cool.
But music,
I love weird stuff.
You do. It suits you. Music is an effective dopamine delivery system. Dopamine is that feel-good chemical that makes you kind of And
but it's funny if you're listening to good music or nice music.
But you know, like some music that makes you just want to get up and dance. You don't feel like it, but then, you know. Do you know that song? It's Mr. Blue Sky by ELO.
No.
And it just starts off. I'll listen to it. It's just.
Give us a tune there, Paul.
And we can have it. You don't want to see me dance. It's a different genre of video. But I used to do, this is showing my age now, I used to do a lot of running when I was a kid and when I was a teenager, right until my mid-20s. I kind of stopped then.
You fucking ran marathons and everything,
I did all kinds of mad things. But you see people out jogging now listening to music on headphones and all of that. But when I was running, you didn't have that. There was no, do you remember, like, there was no...
you didn't have a Walkman?
No, well, I was trying to trace the order back, like, so nobody had mobile phones, you didn't have a Discman, and then the Walkman predated that. There's an old Walkman at home in my mother's house, and they're actually collector's items now. They used to play the tapes.
No way.
But they came out in the mid-80s, I think.
Wow.
But running before that, if I was going to run a mile, I could run a mile in a little over 4 minutes. It was quite good. But I would switch on the stereo at home. I would listen to something heavy rock, heavy metal, something with lots of energy. Turn up full blast, listen to it, then take off the headphones, switch off the thing, and run out the door, run a mile out the road. And the music was in my head.
Yeah.
And I'd run a good mile.
Yeah.
If I was going to do 5 miles, I'd listen to something a little bit more with a different kind of a rhythm to it, but not something that would use up all my energy in the first mile. And then if I was doing longer than that, I might listen to something, you know, Freebird by Leonard Skinner. If you haven't listened to it, do listen to it. It's a big long track. Or Child in Time by Deep Purple. It was one of those, like, it was like rock, that's what you call it, rock genre, but the song would go on for maybe 12 to 15 minutes, and it would just kind of would build and build and build. So that was going round and round and round in my head as I was running. Yeah, but I saw where people listen to music to help them to perform certain tasks now. And one of the things that is studying. Like, some people need complete quiet and isolation to study something, but other people, it just doesn't suit them.
Yeah. They need something going in the background.
They need something, yeah.
Doesn't that connect in with all the solfeggio frequencies that you listen to? Like, I mean, some people listen to them for healing, or, you know, there's different frequencies. I don't know what they all are now. My husband is very good, actually, at knowing what they're all for, and he listens to a lot of them, actually.
Yeah.
But there is one for creativity and for study and all of that. And I tried it, and I have to say, it did actually improve my focus and my concentration.
Yeah.
So it works off the premises that the sound waves actually affect your body, because your body is mostly water.
Yeah, and energy and the frequency.
Yeah,
like
the vibration.
They've been able to show with, I think it was MRI scanners, people's brains reacting to music, and you can see the wave pattern in the brain.
Isn't it freaking so cool,
Yeah, so that happens right throughout the entire body. Yeah. But listening to something like, I think it was Vivaldi's Four Seasons, was a very good piece of music to listen to if you were studying, because there's no lyrics to it. Lyrics distract you, because whatever the person is singing about, you're making mental images of that. Whereas if it's just the mood of the music, it carries you along, and then whatever else you're trying to remember or retain gets carried along with it.
Yeah,
it's very interesting, isn't it?
It's fabulous. I mean, I even think, like, back to years ago, before I started going for counselling or anything like that, when I was really young, I used to play the piano, and I absolutely loved it. Yeah, it was so good. But, like, for example, now, Moonlight Sonata was one of my favourite pieces to play. I absolutely loved that tune. And depending on my mood, it would dictate how fast the tempo of that tune, how fast I played it.
So you're in a good mood, you get really into it, maybe.
Yeah, I just play calm and nice and the way it should be heard, you know. And then if I was in a bad mood or something was after pissing me off, I'd be dun, dun, dun. I'd be banging it out of it.
Yeah, because you're like one of those horror films.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was just going bananas.
But I can't play any music. I learned a bit of the tin whistle when I was in school. That was easy.
Can you sing though? You sing?
No, I don't. I sing very badly. So you know that song "Paint Your Wagon"? You know, I was born under a wandering star.
Oh, I do.
I can sing that because my voice is kind of basic. It's hard to sing that badly.
That is the most droll song.
It's hard to sing that bad.
Oh my gosh.
But you see, some of this goes back to when I was a child. I was told that I couldn't sing. I wasn't able to sing by a teacher, and I was put in like
that was terrible.
I was told, like, you'll stand to the back of the group.
No.
And I was only a small little chap, so I couldn't be seen nor heard.
That's not good.
No. But I did kind of challenge that in later years. I did go to a voice training workshop years ago in Germany. I didn't know. I was told by the person who invited me that it's for public speaking, how to project your voice.
Yeah.
When I got there, I had a problem. I was the only man in the place, and everybody else was a professional singer.
Oh, flip.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So not only was I the only man in the place and everybody else was a professional singer, a lot of the coaching was around singing. But I overcame my fear, and at the end of the workshop, I got up and I sang in front of that group.
Wow, well done.
Yeah.
Go you.
Yeah. Now I didn't record an album or anything. Yeah. But I did come out of my comfort zone. I did come out of my comfort zone.
I think that's what life's all about, isn't it?
But learning to play music is one of those ways that they say that you can offset the effects of aging on the brain.
Wow.
It's like learning a language, or learning the dexterity of being able to use your fingers to play something.
I think you should learn constantly.
You could teach me the piano.
Yeah. Well, if I can still remember how to play it. It's that long now since I sat down at the piano. But I did. It's a beautiful instrument though to learn.
Yeah.
It's actually easy to learn it too.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
Talking about aging, there was an experiment done, and I'll put the link to it in the description of the video. It was done back in the 70s. I can't remember off the top of my head. This is me, the meeting sandwich. I kind of give you the gist of what it is, the important bit. It's irrelevant to me who did it or where it was done. But it was done in the States. They were studying elderly people and the way that their brains or their functions degrade over time. So they got two groups of elderly people, and they split them up. Two groups, right? So they got one group and they said, we want you to imagine it's 1959, back when this these people were in their prime. So they got them to sit around to talk and reminisce about 1959, to put them in an area for a week or so. And they got another group and they put them in an environment where they recreated 1959. They got them to dress as they did. They got 50s cars, they got the newspapers of the time, they blasted them music, everything. And in some cases, some of these people went into the environment, like on Zimmer frames, hardly able to walk, and people had been looking after them, cooking, whatever. When they came out, when they emerged, I don't know what left them in for a month.
Wow.
A lot of them had learned how to be self-sufficient again. They'd learned how to go upstairs. They didn't need the Zimmer frames. Their thinking was a whole lot better and clearer.
God.
They found that both groups had got younger.
Wow.
But the group who had been actually back in 1959 recreating the environment had got younger still.
Goes to show you the power of your mind.
Yeah.
Of your own mind. Like, I mean, we were just talking with Ken about this morning, actually. He's one of the therapists here, actually. And it's very interesting. Like, whatever story or narrative you tell yourself, that's what you are. You are that. Like, if you're going to go around telling yourself that you're stupid all day long, well, then you're going to be very stupid, you know? And if you're going to go around telling yourself that, you know, you're grateful and you express gratitude and you feel love and all of that, well, then that's what you're going to give out, and ultimately that's what you get back. I think even just like listening to happy music is a big thing as well. I think at bad times in my life I probably would have listened to more sad and depressing music. Angry times, more of the heavy metal genre, you know. Go a bit mad on the old Metallica and Nirvana stuff.
Right, I would like to see you playing the guitar. Air guitar.
I actually,
Right. Do you know the way a smell can bring you back to a memory?
Oh yeah.
Music does that. Music does that with me. One of my hobbies is I like to write, and I wrote a book that was set in the 1970s and 80s. It's based roughly on my life. It's a work of fiction, but it borrows heavily from my life and people that I knew. But to get into the mindset to write the book, I would sit down on a Friday night and turn on 1980s music. Or 70s music, the stuff that I used to listen to back then, and it would bring up the memories and bring up the material for the story, the plot, and how people were and how things were different then as opposed to now. So it got me into that mindset to do that. So you can really condition your thinking with music.
Yeah, I think it really helps a lot, you know. I mean, definitely I think the introduction of it into a psychological treatment is really valid.
If you had your morning startup music song, what would it be? The one that gets you going?
Dance Monkey.
Dance Monkey?
Yeah.
Okay.
By the Tones and Me.
Right. I'm going to look that up.
I love it. It's such a get up and go kind of song.
Right. Okay. Mine would be ELO, Mr. Blue Skies.
Okay.
But I changed it after a while. I never stick with any particular. I guess what's my favourite song? It just changes.
I don't really have a favourite song, I suppose. You know, I listen to all different types of music, you see, so I don't know. Let us know what kind of music you guys listen to, actually. It'd be lovely to see your comments down below.
Okay, we're happy headers. Talk to you soon.